There is a yes and a no answer to it. Before we get started on whether SPF is required in the house or indoors or not, it's important to understand what are the two different types of lights or radiations that come through in our homes. The first one is of course the UV radiation, and the second one is the blue light. What is blue light? Blue light is a short wavelength that's emitted through our phones, our devices like tablets, laptops, computers, desktops, any of these digital devices that we use. This blue light can give us eye damage, it can give us headaches, it can give you insomnia. Insomnia is basically your inability to sleep, and that is why it is advised that before you go to sleep, all devices should be turned off, or you shouldn't be on a device before you go to sleep. Excessive exposure can lead to your pigmentation getting worse, acne scars becoming harder to treat, and also leading to uneven skin tone. The question is, do we require SPF inside our homes also to protect ourselves from this blue light that's being emitted inside the homes? To answer that question, it's important to understand how does blue light get calculated and what amount of it can really damage our skin. I did extensive reading on this, and of course there's always Lab Muffin whom you can refer to for all these nerdy kind of details. So when we try to assess the damage on our skin, everybody just has guesstimate. The minimum amount of visible light needed to cause damage to our skin is 40 JCM square, more or less. Just 15 minutes under the midday sun is enough to start causing visible damage to the skin. How much of this do we get from the screens? While the studies compare different sources of indoor visible light, namely iPads, phones and computers, it is safe to say that even at the highest power, it is still over 100 times less damaging than the midday sun. So the damage done to your skin is very, very little. So Caroline spoke to MIT researchers. MIT is a big technology university, to figure out, do we require protection against the blue light also? And the resounding answer was that right now we don't. Given the current state of our devices and the exposure that we have, there is really no potential of damage from the blue light to our skin. But do we still require SPF protection indoors? The answer is yes and no. Here is how it works. If you have large windows in your house and you're not going to be using dark curtains to shut out the light, then there's enough radiation or heat being caused which would need for you to wear some kind of SPF protection when you're inside the house. However, if you're working far away from direct sunlight, there is no direct sunlight falling on your face, or you're using dark curtains to keep the radiation out, then you don't really need to worry. The problem also comes if you are prone to going out a lot, going in and coming back quite frequently, like you might be taking breaks between work or during your housework, going out watering the plants and coming inside, or going out hanging clothes and coming inside. Even the 15 minutes under the midday sun can be damaging. Instead of trying to put sunscreen just before you're going to do it, because once you put the sunscreen, you again need to wait for 15 minutes before you go out to the sun. It's just better to use a slight SPF protection if you know you're going to be going in and out. So an SPF 30 is completely fine. And so my recommendation is to wear the Kaya's 5-star boot certified sunscreen when you're inside the house, when you have light to moderate sun also coming in, so that your skin is protected, and definitely repeat it between 2 to 3 hours. It's just better to be in the prevention mode than to be in curative mode, especially when it comes to radiation. It really fries up your collagen and ages you dramatically. If you're not going to see the signs now, you'll start seeing the signs when you're around 40, 45. You just start seeing so much of uneven pigmentation. I can almost see people's faces and diagnose that you've never worn sunscreen or that it's been limited. And people are like, whoa, how do you know? Your skin's talking. Listen to it. I'm going to meet you in the comment section.